I'm sure that if you clicked on this video, then you love Pikmin. And why wouldn't you? Everybody loves Pikmin. These little guys are great. Are you vertically challenged and need help getting to the top shelf? Boom, Pikmin got it. Maybe you need an extra hand grabbing groceries. Boom, Pikmin. Need help finding the deceased body of Warlord Genghis-Khan? Whoa, where the fuck did you get that? So imagine for a second that you're approached by Olimar and he offers you a free Pikmin onion. But there's a catch. This onion will only be able to summon one kind of Pikmin. But lucky for you, you get to choose. So, in real life, which one of these would make the best Pikmin? Wait, I'll make this quick before the video starts, but I want to tell you that I'm a very small YouTuber, and every time someone likes, subscribes, or honestly just decides to watch the video in full, YouTube puts this on 1,000 more feeds. So to all my friends new and old, I always appreciate any kind of support that you can give. Alright, now to the Pikmin. Alright, so starting in F tier, we have the Puffmin. Now, a lot of you might not know what the Puffmin are, because I also didn't know what a Puffmin was. But in the first Pikmin game, there's this boss called a Puffstool. It's this giant walking mushroom that occasionally releases a gas cloud that turns your Pikmin into Puffmin, replacing the little flower with a mushroom. So are the Puffmin the best Pikmin? Absolutely not. Listen, aside from the fact that Puffmin are literally made by forcing Pikmin to be Puffmin against their will, the Puffmin are active ops the moment they are born. As soon as they're converted into Puffmin, they get on your ass. They don't let you breathe for a minute. Do you know what kind of op timing you have to be on to start violence the moment you are born? The same kind he's on. So excuse my French when I say that Puffmin are the worst thing to walk the Pikmin Earth. And I want to clarify, this isn't from like a conceptual standpoint, because conceptually, these guys are really cool. The idea of having your Pikmin turned against you in a boss battle is actually a pretty cool idea that they didn't unfortunately end up sticking with. I'm just saying from an in-universe perspective, nobody touches my children, especially if they're trying to turn them into mushroom zombies. So I don't like the Puffmin, and if you like the Puffmin, then have fun choosing their onion. I'm sure you won't regret it when you have a constant army of Puffmin smacking your ankles 24/7. Next up on E tier, we have the Ice Pikmin, and to all you Ice Pikmin fans, I'm sorry, but I am also extremely not sorry. Ice Pikmin are so uncreative on a conceptual standpoint. It is just the rock Pikmin texture with the purple Pikmin body and a recolor. That's it. Now, I get the criticism that I'm making is that the Pikmin look similar to other Pikmin when the series is kind of just like... I get it, okay? I get it. But listen, when you're waiting years for a game that you're not even sure is in production, and you finally get a tiddlywink of something that comes from the project, and it's this thing that is literally just two textures smashed together, it kind of makes you want to crash out. My problem isn't necessarily with the design, it's more the design plus all the time that they had, because they had years to work on this design, and this was the only new Pikmin they introduced in Pikmin 4. So quite frankly, I would have loved an Ice Pikmin that was anything but this. Okay, oddly specific beef aside, the Ice Pikmin would just melt in real life. And let's just say hypothetically they didn't melt, they also couldn't do too much for you. Like, their main functionality is to freeze water, but without that, they're kind of just a slower version of a normal Pikmin. So they are leagues above the Puffmin. But all in all, that is not saying much. Alright, going on to D tier, we have the Rock Pikmin. Listen, no hate to Rock Pikmin, but they are rocks. Same issue with the Ice Pikmin, there's not much they can actually do for you. In the game, they're mostly used to break stuff, which, obviously, we have normal rocks for that. Well, not that you should be breaking things with rocks, but we do have normal rocks for that. Look, Rock Pikmin are adorable, and the whole reason why they're in D tier, not E tier, is because, well, one, they're not gonna melt on you, unless you're in a volcano for some reason, but I wouldn't see why you would be. And two, I have absolutely no beef with their design. Like, at the time, this was an original and fresh take for a Pikmin. But unfortunately, I can only list the pros and cons of rocks for so long. I'm sorry, Rock Pikmin fans, I sympathize, but D tier, I say. Alright, moving on to C tier, we have the Bulbmin. I'm gonna be so honest, I thought these things were a hoax. I didn't think these were real. But lo and behold, they are an actual thing in the game. What the Bulbmin actually are is a species of parasitic Pikmin that take over the Bulborb's bodies. So these aren't Pikmin that happen to look like Bulborbs, they are Pikmin that are inside the Bulborbs. Just want to clear that up because I completely thought that these were Pikmin in the shape of Bulborbs. Now, don't get me wrong, Bulborbs are adorable, so Bulbmin are adorable. I'm just, not too sure about them. Listen, don't be deceived by that cute-looking face. There's still a parasite in his body. But even as the Bulbmin, they look relatively peaceful. They're not aggressive or anything. Just off-putting. Oh, whatever. They're cute. I don't care. But either way, evil or not, they still can't do much for you. They are actually resistant to all kinds of elements, which is water, fire, electricity, and poison, which sounds kind of cool, but they also refuse to leave their caves. So in real life, they probably just wouldn't leave your house. So a C tier. Alright, next in C tier, we have the Red Pikmin. When you think Pikmin, you typically think of the Red Pikmin. It's the first Pikmin you ever encounter in the games. This little guy's hard not to love. He's basically everything you would need in a Pikmin. They move stuff, they put stuff down, and they attack shit. The life of a Pikmin. In terms of special abilities, these guys don't have too much to offer. They have a slightly higher attack, which is always welcome, and they also have fire resistance, which in-game can be pretty useful, but in real life, how often are you coming across fire? Well, I guess if you were an aforementioned volcano, then fire resistance might not be the worst thing, but you are also probably not in a volcano. Unless you are. In which case, you should probably leave. Listen, Red Pikmin are kind of like the default Pikmin, so while it is a good example of what a Pikmin should be, it is also not the best, so C tier. So moving on to our one and only B tier, we have the Yellow Pikmin. Everybody beyond this point is basically going to be the Red Pikmin, but with better abilities. Exhibit A, the Yellow Pikmin. Now, Yellow Pikmin have a resistance to electricity, but they also can conduct electricity. So if you need your phone charged, all Yellow Pikmin has to do is jump into an outlet, hold hands with a few other Yellow Pikmin, and then charge your phone. This is also probably a godsend to anybody who's an electrician. Electrical repairs have become infinitely safer for them. So living in a society where pretty much everything is powered by electricity, Yellow Pikmin are guaranteed to come in handy. It doesn't matter where or when, they are always going to come in handy at some point. They also apparently dig pretty well, so if you have a garden, they can also help with that. Even better if you have an electric garden. Alright, moving on to A tier, we have the Purple Pikmin. Have you ever thought to yourself, man, life would be so much more fulfilling if I had somebody to share the burdens of everyday life with? Well, introducing the Purple Pikmin. Listen, don't let their small size fool you. If these guys were human-sized, they'd be bench-pressing elephants like it was a goddamn feather. And, I'm not exaggerating. So even though they aren't human-sized, they're still going to be able to move around pretty much anything you need moved. Now, they're probably not going to be able to rearrange your furniture, but pretty much everything else is fair game. Keep in mind that we're still talking about Pikmin, and your average Pikmin is going to be about 1 gram in weight, and your average Purple Pikmin is probably going to be around 10 grams in weight. So maybe cut them like a little bit of slack, because they are still plants. But like, hypothetically, if you need your room cleaned, you could just say, hey, Pikmin, clean my room. And you can leave for work or whatever, and it'll be done by the time you get back. So being 10 times as strong as your average Pikmin, I would say is pretty damn useful. Alright, next up in A tier is the Blue Pikmin. Man, it's a pretty cool lake. Kinda wanna know what's at the bottom of it. But sadly, guess we'll never know. We kinda need like scuba gear and stuff like that. Listen, generally anything water related is gonna be a bitch and a half to get done. So having Blue Pikmin around is just the best. Let's say you need to do repairs underwater. Don't worry about it. Pikmin got you. Need somebody to clean your pool? Pikmin got you. Feed the fish? Hell, fight the fish? Pikmin got you. So basically anything water related that you need done, the Blue Pikmin can take care of. And also, you're insane if having a pool party with Pikmin doesn't sound like the best thing ever. So he's gonna sit nice and comfy in A tier. Now the top of A tier goes to the White Pikmin, and there's a very specific reason why. I'll let you guys take a guess. Alright, got your answer? Well, you're wrong. Or at least I hope you are. Because if you're not wrong, then I kind of just look like a big dumbass here. Now, the reason why is because these guys have the ability to detect buried treasure. And that, hypothetically, could be a really broken ability. Do you know how much money you would make sifting for gold if you only know where the gold is? That is, for lack of better terms, an infinite money glitch. And don't forget, you have as many of these as you need. So, if you like money, you might want to pick up some White Pikmin. Also, if you like trading cards of any kind, never open one up without a White Pikmin present, because he's going to tell you exactly which ones have good cards and which ones don't. And also, they're fast as fuck, for no apparent reason. So even completely disregarding the poison and acid abilities, this is already a great Pikmin. The only reason the White Pikmin is an S tier is because this is all hypothetical. You could choose the White Pikmin, and he could not know shit. He might only be good at treasure hunting in the Pikmin world, which I find unlikely, but is plausible. So I'm putting my new gambling buddy right into A tier. Alright, moving on to S tier. First up, we have the Winged Pikmin. So you know those crows that bring people money in exchange for food? Yeah, imagine that, but on an Amazon level scale. You are also capable of stealing pretty much anything you want in the world. Do you know how difficult it would be to trace a Pikmin? It would be nigh on impossible. It'd be like tracing a fly. There are just too many uses for a flying army of Pikmin. So for that reason, it goes directly into S tier. There's not much else I can say. It's a flying Pikmin. Alright, top of S tier goes to none other than the Glow Pikmin. Now, I didn't know that glow Pikmin were a thing, just at all. But glow Pikmin are undeniably S tier because they literally give you superpowers. You see, what glow Pikmin can do is they can all join together and turn into a giant ball of light, which effectively acts like a flashbang. So, with glow Pikmin, you can literally harness the power of light. Still not convinced? Well, you will never need to buy lighting ever again. These guys can light pretty much anything. Need a flashlight? You got glow Pikmin. Need a lamp? You got glow Pikmin. You literally won't need any other kind of light. And they also fly. It's not an actual ability given to them in-game, but they are definitely spirits of some sort, because they also just teleport. So, to recap, you have Pikmin that can fly, harness the power of light, teleport, and will actively save you thousands on your electricity bill. If that doesn't make an S tier Pikmin, then I don't know what does. So this is the final list. Tell me what you guys think in the comments. And if you haven't already, please subscribe and join the community. It genuinely means the world to have you guys around. Well, looks like there's nothing left to be said. So with that, I bid you peace, my friend.